guys know it is Drunken Chat, son.
All right, welcome everybody to It's Drunken Chat, son, on the Comic Crusaders Network. Your host right now with Chilton's Beans and Cornbread. Look, we're going to talk about comics, TV shows, movies. Also, we're going to talk about books on our own FOC, some of the new releases for Wednesday 16th. But first, we're also going to talk about some of the Money Matters financial outlook, and where you might want to put your money at. Once again, I do want to remind people and put this out there. Whatever I say on the show is not financial advice. The information contained on this website and coming out of my mouth is just for resources available. I just use factual stuff. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a financial advisor, nor am I holding myself out to be. Information contained on the Comic Crusaders website is not a substitute for any financial advice from an actual professional who's aware of the facts and the circumstances of your individual situation. All right, so let's get into it. Very interesting week. So there's a lot of reports, very interesting reports from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. They came out with the CPI report. Really good stuff. Well, depends on where you're at, right? We talked about inflation. On one hand, they said, well, inflation is happening for the first time in 13 months, but we actually know that's not true. But there is more on the core side. The core CPI, which excludes more volatile food and the energy prices, actually increased 0.2 from June and was actually up 4.7% from this year ago. July is the fourth consecutive month that the annual core CPI has eased, and that 4.7% rate landed 0.1 percentage point below the consensus. Oh man! But before I go back into this even more, hey, what's going on, brother? Big Remo in the house.
What's happening?
Oh man, freaking chilling. Just still easing to this whole freaking school thing. Got to get these little people, these little devils, back to freaking school. Which is why I'm happy that they're getting out of that damn house. But in the meantime, I'm like, man, all the money spent, and then I gotta be doing their freaking homework as well when they get back, man. So it's gonna be.
Yeah, we were just going over the syllabus right now, maybe about an hour. Yeah, I mean, I was. I didn't even know she started school yesterday. I didn't even know she would start. I thought they didn't start till next week. She started on Thursday. She had minimum day Thursday and today, and then all next week minimum day. I'm like, God damn, can you go to school full already? Just go to school and then give me some time later where you start having minimum days. They got the whole
on
first
Thursday.
Week.
God damn.
The first half, the official start days, and then the whole first week is minimum day. I'm just like, I hate this a bitch.
Damn, man. Yeah, man.
And then the classes, man, the classes, the outside of class stuff you got to pay for, man.
Yeah. Well, you got to pay for freaking lunch, and you got to pay for technology fees and all this other stuff, man.
No, I'm talking about just outside, secondary stuff. If you want to do outside of school knowledge, you know what I mean? Extended computer training, you know what I mean, for elementary school kids, or coding and shit, you know what I mean? These classes are 2 classes for $400, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
So let me give a shout out to the folks out in the chat. Louis Ramirez 504. You gotta let me know, man. Are you in New Orleans, man? Because if you are, man, we need to hang out when I go back down there. GT Key Comics, 78 points of articulation. And of course, Mama Comics in house. She says she's too tired to hang out with us, apparently. She's saying that she just stopped by to say hi. This week was hard. We started school Wednesday. Oh, okay. So Little Remy just started school.
California's back early.
Yeah, but it's little Remy apparently started school, man. You remember when was they had little Remy? She was just in our arms, man. Now that little starting school, man.
it's
God
in there,
damn, the dude that started the muffin wheel.
right?
And of course, Valiant Thor says at work, random channel surfing, having lunch, drinking beer, and saving the world. Amen, man. Please stay safe. Um, but yeah, man, freaking. So the reason why I'm even talking about school, and I know y'all tired of hearing me talk about the kids going back to school, is because a lot of parents that had to save up money for school clothes, for sneaks, and all these supplies, which means that their normal income, where they might not want to been able to, or might not have been able to spend on stuff like comics and movies and all that other stuff. And that was kind of the trend that I was seeing. Well, now it's even hitting harder because these are the numbers that are coming out. Bureau of Labor is saying this. Is saying that hey, price of stuff went up. Okay, um, and it's kind of funny. Like I was once again, what have we been keeping an eye on? Disney, Warner Brothers, IDW, and I'll talk about that later. Paramount and everything. Let me take this down there. But the CPI, this what the report for the CPI says is that it increased 3.2. One of the biggest part of that gain was actually for houses, mortgages, rents. CNN was saying the same thing. Consumer prices rose by, 3.2 annually in July, picking up for the first time in 13 months. When it comes to Disney, and they've got all types of crazy stuff going on with the strike. Um, their shares gained after the entertainment gain announced a major and price increase in streaming. So think about that. Right before one of their biggest TV shows is about to come out, that's Asaka is about to come out. They're going ready to raise prices. They're also talking about cutting out the ability to share your password and everything else, just like Netflix did. Because I guess they looked at what Netflix said. It was like, oh well, we want money, we like money. Let's do that too. Um, in the meantime, if look, you're getting Christmas time is right around the corner. I know people are like going to look at me crazy, but your little lady love. She's going to want some bags. She might want a little freaking jewelry. But I thought this was pretty interesting that the Versace parent Capri, just got bought by Coach. I thought that was freaking crazy. So I
Whoa,
guess So I guess
really?
Versace is Versace is an American company right now. Um, yeah. Uh, chelation chelation gel for children is a treatment that helps cleanse the body of a relatively weak source of beta radiation, such as tritium.
Who
Okay.
is? Never heard of Valiant Thor. Never heard of Valiant Thor, but
Got some we got some third eye people
yeah.
in the chat right now. Watching from the Los Alamos National Laboratory. Oh, looks like one of my employees. Fuck. All right. Fuck. Hey, would you, setting up Arkman Carver says setting up an Instagram store is rocket science. Yeah, I don't fuck with Instagram stores.
They want a
That's what
piece. They're trying to figure
yeah,
out a way. If you know what I mean, they're gonna get something out of it.
yeah, that's what Shopify is for, man. Just do Shopify. There's pieces of it that's free, and
Link in
once you
the
know,
bio.
once you know what to do, man, just do Shopify, man. You'll get a lot more traffic and all that other stuff. Versus messing around with Instagram and Facebook. I mean, you could do absolutely do like Instagram Live. I think
Yeah.
that's fine. I don't know. But what did you think of those? What did you think of the numbers? Did you see any of the numbers this week, Remo? Because I've been talking to people, I've been telling people about these treasury auctions and how cheap they were. There was a past auction just this week where they did 3 year, 10 years, and 30 years. Um, the yield on the 10-year treasury note was 4.81, up from 4.011 on Wednesday. 3-year notes looked good and it had a strong demand. but 30 years came in a little soft. It was not giving the yields that people wanted on that one. So it looks like people are okay with short term USA bonds, but not those long term ones. So as you're thinking about um,
I,
using comics as an investment, you got to think about that. Think about short term versus long term.
yeah, but that's the thing. It's like, what's your end goal? Like, what are you trying to do? Like, I mean, the treasury, like, it's just it's ways of locking up money. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, so you don't lose it or it doesn't get stolen or whatever. If you don't put it in the bank, it's not gonna collect interest. So you buy a bond, it's that set amount and it can mature. You know what I mean? And like it'll pay dividends and some or whatever. But it's just a way to wait for it to, it's like, for it to gain a little bit and sell it. You know what I mean? Like, or buy something different. Diversify or whatever. It's just growing money. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
starting with an amount and try and get to it. You can't play the game to get rich anymore. It's kind of like to maintain it and
yeah,
get little wins here and there. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like nothing like where it's crazy where you're just like Wolf of Wall Street, but you're like your money is invested and it's doing what it's supposed to. You know what I mean?
exactly.
That's what
Your money's got your
that
money.
that's what my goal would be. You know what I mean? Help me, keep maintain my assets. You know what I
You know,
mean? And
getting
do
your
other
money, getting your money to work for you versus you working for the money.
exactly.
It's-
You know what I mean? And then I don't lose cash. I'm not just throwing it in a shoebox or something. You know what I mean? It's like actually working for me. You know what I mean? And you're not tempted to spend it or whatever. Like that's how I would use those treasury bonds.
yeah. There he is. What's going on, brother? Ultra
I'm
Maximus in the house.
sorry for my absence and my hiatus, everybody. I survived the first week of first grade. My kids were in
Nah.
school. So last week I was trying like hell to get a secret variant done. Couldn't make it happen. This week tried like hell to get a secret variant done. Haven't made it happen yet. There's still a chance one can go down tomorrow or Sunday. But please don't hold it against me if I can't get it done. I got a lot on the plate. And also, do you guys know about the heat index here in Florida? What it's been like the past week?
What's it
I
been
have
like?
not.
Like 116 feeling,
Yeah.
Jeez.
Humid too, right?
So yeah, and my wife's car is currently in the air in the driveway, getting 2 catalytic converters done by yours truly. Dying of heat exhaustion, barely wanting to touch that car.
Oh my
Surviving getting meet the teacher in the first couple of days of school done. I just got in from work, so bruh, good to see you guys.
Good to see you too. I was wondering why you were type quiet this week. I was like, yeah, he's busy.
No, dude, it's been so crazy, and again, just what's up, Drunken Chat family? How's everybody doing? Got Cardi West, Mama's Comics, Valiant Thor, bro. You can't be using that name without knowing the back history of it. If he is,
He's kicking some knowledge in the chat.
maybe. At work, random channel surfing, having lunch, drinking beer, and saving the world. If Valiant Thor is really the Valiant Thor of Valiant Thor fame, he's been with the federal government since the 1960s, and he's also very tall.
Right.
Has
So
6 fingers in each
yeah,
hand.
so he might want to shut the hell up, man, because if he's talking about drinking beer at a government facility, that's illegal. So
Oh well, no. You understand? He's got legal alien status permanently.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Where are we at? I got in. I just jumped into the fire. I didn't even.
We were talking about. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we were. Well, we just got off of talking about the inflation, right? I talked about decreased Disney shares gain because look, your subscription is just going to go up, right? I think it was going up from $14.99 to $17.99, and this is right before Ahsoka was supposed to come out. That's a big freaking bid for them, man. Like, I get it. They're probably gonna, but right before they're making a big bid that people love Star Wars and Ahsoka so much. And as much as I love old girl, as much as I love her.
Do you want to know the secret? Do you really want to know the secret?
Sure.
Star Wars nerds be fucking subscribing to Disney Plus and canceling the fucking second the show is over. So Disney is betting on all these heads. They're like, oh, all y'all canceled last time. I know we're going to get at least 6 weeks of your money this time. Maybe, 5 weeks because they do a double. No, is it 8 episodes? How many episodes has Ahsoka got? Because
speak up.
Because if she's got 8, then it's 7 weeks. If it's only 6, then it's 5 weeks. Because they're doing a 2-hour first episode. But yeah,
so that's at least months. That would be 6 weeks. Would be at least 2 months subscription data. Subscription.
But see, that's the thing. Most people we all paid the monthly fees and all that. But nowadays, you can get that shit on your cell phone. Like that shit's. I don't even pay for Disney anymore. It's part of our family plan for our cell phone.
Right.
You know what I mean?
There's a lot of bundling going on out there. Yeah. I'm currently bundled up with Hulu through my plan.
Exactly.
But when T-Mobile bought my phone company, they offered me Amazon Prime, but then they said, oh, no, wait, you're grandfathered in with the Hulu. Maybe you don't want to change. I said, you damn right I don't want to change. I already got Amazon Prime, too.
Exactly. And that's what I have, too. And through Verizon out here, the people who are upset are the people who want to pay the monthly, like you said, still the free subscription during the time, and then, you know what I mean, maybe pay 2 months of it and then be done with it. You know what I'm saying?
So one thing you have Bitcoin showing here first. Did anybody buy Tesla coin? Tesla
coin? No.
Oh, yeah. X coin, or whatever you want to call it. Let me get back to it. Let me pull it up real quick.
I just feel like I'm watching him do it. I'm privy to I have a front row seat for his shenanigans daily and weekly.
Yeah.
I'm about
he actually stayed out of the news cycle this week. But
that's
what's the other guy? Virgin, the guy from Virgin, he had a shuttle go up more tourists. Go up.
Yeah, but you know what? I'd rather be in a rocket than a submarine. Just saying. So yeah, X token, and they have only sold 1,505,063 X token out of the 6.475 million available. So X token is your passport to a new era. Join the future with X token. Secure your place in the limitless world of interactivity powered by AI for a global marketplace of ideas and opportunities. So they have this listed at xtokensale.com if you want to take a look at it. Apparently it's exclusive benefits for high volume investors. And, Elon is a little bit further down on page in a nice little pose with a haircut, getting ready for his cage match with Zuckerberg and the Coliseum of Rome.
That shit is so fucking. Come on.
That's gonna go down.
If they do that, I'm gonna look at them all kinds of sideways.
So Bitcoin is now officially at double where it's fell to, because it fell to 14, I think, was the lowest it fell to in a long time. Yes. So now we're back. Now it's back up to 30. You know why it's back up there? You know who's been buying?
Who, Elon?
Big three: State Street, Vanguard, BlackRock. All of them have been buying fucking Bitcoin.
Well, God bless them. Let's see if it works out for them.
Because they're buying Bitcoin on the push towards CBDC. Because they trying to hold all the coin, you know what I mean?
I think fools are trying to get in and get out. That's all they're trying to do. They're trying to get into some high bid, they're trying to get cash so they can go invest in another shit.
Just anytime I see the big three involved in something, there's manipulation going on because
exactly.
they all three are the biggest shareholders of themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's there's just so much incestuous trading going on.
But for them, they just need to make a little bump.
Because they own so much market share. A little bump for them is fucking.
But for them to make that bump, a whole bunch of small fish have to, lose their ass.
And there Lucas is finding some of the details on it. Yeah,
like
I got fucking blocker.
Fuck yeah, blocker. But we saw the headline.
So they need people to buy.
There's a lot of people talking a lot of stuff about those three buying right now.
Yeah.
Oh, you motherfuckers!
You got to kill the ad killer, bro.
I will not. Fuck y'all. Let's see.
Yeah, I just that's a hey, come follow us right quick. You know what I mean? We know where it's at. We're gonna go buy this. You know what I mean? Like, watch us. And there's gonna be some manipulation. They're gonna buy. Get their payoff. You know what I mean? Their little hustle real quick, which is just a small bump, but it's enough for everybody to bite. And then they're gonna sell off their shit, and everybody's gonna lose their ass, and they're gonna take that money and go and fucking
buy it all back that everybody just sold. At
all the real shit, all the shit that they're just trying to hustle you off the street.
Ooh, there you go. So hold on. So sorry, let me blow this up, right? So you get motherfuckers actually see what I'm talking about. So this article once again is talking about BlackRock and blah blah blah, but Invesco. Invesco is something, once again, I'm not a financial advisor. Invesco is something that you might want to pay attention to because Invesco actually pays dividends quarterly. So whatever fucking happens, you can freaking get into that.
But that's what I'm saying. If that's your end game where you want your money to to mature and give you a little something every quarter, you're gonna get your your payout. Then off of your bread, then those are the places you want to look. I mean, if I was doing it, like I said,
look at the round. So it looks like they bought 10 trillion or something like that. I don't believe that. I think that's a little bit off. But I do know Vanguard was it last month they did 620 million. That's how much Bitcoin they actually bought. But so they're thinking is Northwest citing his contracts at the two estimates that between look at the around 10 trillion in value. Said it's not a question of if, but when the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission will approve at least one of a handful of ETF applications. So that's why. That's absolutely why it's going off. And so they're speculating that the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission will agree and approve their ETF application. And of course, Bitcoin is what everybody knows right now. So there you go. So once again, this is one of those, man, we should have bought at when we first started doing Drunken Wall Street and we started to talk about it, and I believe it was lower than 14. I believe it was lower than 14,000.
Stocks or something.
Might have been a lot. Yeah, it might have been like 11.
Stocks or something.
It might have been 11. And then when we started like, oh, it's up to 16. So it should put it at 16. We just this summer it was at 20. Now we're talking about it at 29, and with the speculation that it's going to go even higher right now.
So what was the price you said for? I might be jumping ahead, but what was the price you said for IDW?
So right now, I think it's at. It's pretty low right now. Let's see. So here's why we got to see what the hell is going on with IDW. It's at
what the hell is going on with IDW?
Yeah, they've been laying off a whole bunch of people. Right?
Well, you lose one of the biggest contracts with Hasbro that you got, and then you do some D&D books. Which shout out to Mel V because he's like. Mel V is like, he's like, Dungeons and Dragons shit, bro. And he got all them 10 incentives and he got 9/8. So, yeah, saw that set he put together. And that's a killer set. And especially, IDW books are meant for the fans. They're not meant for real big speculation. Like, it's cool. Like, the Transformers stuff, like, I got lucky because I'm a huge Transformers fan. But I knew what to collect. And it's like the G.I. Joe stuff's the same way. But they're not really good spec books. They are horrible spec books unless the genre is supported by the people who are willing to spend the money. So, like, look at the Sonic books. That's another good example of IDW right now. Sonic the Hedgehog is a good series. It's something like issue 60 something on the IDW side. It's got annuals, got one shots, got reprints of the number one that happened already.
Mm-hmm.
But who's reading it?
Quick shout out to the people that just read Mirrors Comics, Wiki Fodder, and
the people that are reading
Pantheon. Go ahead.
Like Sonic.
Yeah,
you know?
and they're going to buy it regardless. So,
yeah.
You know,
he has a following. Like that's one thing where it's like he's what's the word? Like it doesn't matter what company's pressing his books, they're gonna sell. Like you know what I mean? Like publisher proof. Like you can go to any publisher puts out a Sonic book, it's gonna sell.
Absolutely true. And apparently the same with Transformers. They can go from any publisher, and
G.I. Joe, like all of that. That's true nostalgia for people. You know what I mean? Like those franchises, and I think that IDW does them justice. You know what I mean? And I think that it's kind of a shame that they lost all of that, but I think they just probably were too big and they were handling too much.
But hold on, Remo. So back to your actual question is the fuck is going on with IDW? And I started talking about how they laid off people. And most of the profit for IDW had been in some of the license stuff, but then they lost the licenses, right? Most of those licenses actually went to Dark Horse. So the command signal was, hey, we're going to focus on our own originals, right? Our own organic stuff. But now, apparently, they've been sending out an email to a whole bunch of those writers and artists like, hey, we're not going to do that anymore.
Wait, they're abandoning the creator-owned stuff?
Yeah. They're shutting some of that stuff down. Oof. The IDW originals, they're shutting that stuff down. That means I'm talking about the stuff that was planned and that I've already seen in previews. They've been sending emails to those writers saying, yeah, we're not going to do that anymore.
Oh, shit.
So
how low is their stock right now?
It's at 50. It's at 54 cents. I had maybe a month ago said I think the target is 29, right? Because of the loss of the IPs and everything. But now I don't know what the fuck to think, right? I don't know if they're pulling back because they want to give money back to the shareholders and make people think that stuff is going on, which is usually what you do when you fire a whole bunch of people and cut back on stuff. That's usually what you're going for.
I don't know, man. 54 seems
but
I mean, it's so down.
It's okay, but without any type of IPs,
it's just dropping.
Yeah, so for instance, like their stuff is different than Mike the Pike, right? Mike the Pike, they're the ones that holds the IP for like Vampirella, Deja Thoris, or like anything like Dynamite, right? Whereas Mike the Pike is walking hand in hand to get their stuff on TV and for the movie. That's not the same thing for IDW. IDW, they're like, hey, there's already this thing out there, and we're dependent on those projects to be successful. People that actually want to read our books.
It's like a venture capitalist, right?
Yeah, it's definitely freaking crazy when it comes to freaking IDW. I don't have the numbers on like how they've done, because they've done actually terrible, but there's reasons behind that. But I can't see people really falling in love with it. Maybe. So, for instance, I've always said, hey, May go away, come back later. So now that more people are going to have money to spend on stocks, maybe is the money going to come back? I don't know that, right? Without some big whopper pow for IDW, I just don't see them going back above like the dollar sign right now. Manny Comic Collector is, hey, Lucas, will you be offering the Lorcana boxes? Well, I don't know. Tell me if you can find it in Diamond, then absolutely, I'll be offering it. So just let me know if it's in there. I got it. But yeah, freaking so Bitcoin and Dogecoin and all this other stuff and Xcoin and all the other stuff, man, it's going to be something to keep an eye out on. Um, man, I just I'm at a loss for where to go with, other than people that like me that don't know what the fuck. I'm just going to freaking retreat into freaking treasury bonds. This is what I talked about before. The 3 years is doing really well. Look at that interest rate, looking beautiful at 4.3. 5 years, okay, at 5.1. The 10 years, kind of mid at 3.8. I think what's going to happen is people are going to wait till like 2 months before and then jump into those auctions. The 30-year, just not where it should be at 4.1. It should definitely be a lot higher at between 10 to 12. So it's really freaking soft. In the meantime, here are some of the upcoming auctions that are coming up this week that people could jump into if you're feeling jumpy. I do like the 8 weeks, 13 weeks, and 26 weeks. Those usually have pretty good returns. And those bonds of 20 years, I can't freaking trust them. And once again, you got to compare that to the return of what you would for buying any type of comic book or Bitcoin. I don't know what's going on. Here's using the Terapeak search. Here's what came up this week as far as just comic books, not necessarily pieces, but just putting the comic book search. Amazing Spider-Man number 31, that second print, that Ramos, that Vogue homage cover, actually is doing really well. I actually sold quite a few copies, and this one hasn't even come out yet. I also
store exclusive without all the trade dress on it, so that's going to make the I think the trade dress looking one that looks like the magazine looks better.
Yes, because otherwise, what's the point? What's the fucking point if it doesn't have the Vogue trade dress?
And let's talk about this jackpot for a second here, because there's everybody, all the influencers out here trying to push copies of books, saying shit's first appearances and stuff.
Don't tell me they're trying to push the other jackpot, because that's not the same as this jackpot.
No,
the other jackpot.
They're trying to push this one as Mary Jane's first appearance as jackpot, but
it is not. It is not.
Dark Web number one. Black Cat, Mary Jane, Dark Web number one. She's on the cover with the fucking 777 slots. And you know why people are avoiding that book is because I think only Jeff Scott Campbell did a fucking exclusive for it.
Right. So if you consider the storyline of what it is, it's actually supposed to be Amazing Spider-Man that Rose Beige 1 of 500.
It's supposed to be, but she already had the powers in the Dark Web number one.
Yes.
With Mary Jane and Black Cat.
Agreed. Yes.
And everybody was like, yo, Mary Jane's got powers. What the fuck? And then we see the story unfold over in ASM and how she met her new dude, Paul.
Yes. Peter's a punk, man. You just can't let your old lady get dicked out by that, man.
Well, it's okay because he's wallowing out Black Cat. He don't give a shit.
No. They just broke up.
Well, but he was still piping it, so it was okay. You know, like Peter is gonna find his philandering Peter somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like
Peter's a hoe, man. Peter's a hoe. He's dicking everybody. He's been dicking Silk as well, man. He's been dicking everybody.
Mm-hmm. So, and speaking of Peter doing that, did you guys hear also how they're doing Rain 2? Remember when Peter had the super semen that was radioactive and it killed Mary Jane, gave her cancer?
I do not remember that.
Okay.
Continue.
So the most hated Spider-Man story behind the one where Gwen Stacy was getting banged out by Green Goblin. So, which was later retconned into Mysterio convincing Norman Osborn that he was doing it to Gwen because he's a pedo. And it was Mysterio making that happen. So that's
I remember hearing
more Spider-Man continuity to keep track of. But yeah, Spider-Man Reign.
What run was that though?
Storyline where Peter gives Mary Jane cancer from nutting in her too much with his radioactive semen.
Come on.
Yeah. They're doing a sequel to it.
So I could understand if he gave her like a disease. They should have just came out and say,
"Oh, he did not give her the chlamydia, crapagonicidal herpes."
He's shooting up the club in the box.
Radioactive spider blood cancer.
You know, with all these superheroes that are obviously fucking, you think they would come up as more of a top like
superhero? You know, the mutant community got some diseases ain't nobody heard of.
Yeah. All Cocoa, you know, they all been fucking around, especially Wolverine and Cyclops and old girl. You know they got STDs.
Yeah,
and you know, cure cancer.
Why would you do something positive for Spider-Man? Why would a Spider-Man have something good happen to him? Even Louise Simonson said this shit about, you know, Archangel. She's like, Archangel's powers were dumb. He was an angel that could fly at 80 miles an hour, so I had to make him cool. So what I did to make him cool, I gave him trauma. I had Apocalypse chop off his wings, turn him blue, and twist him into the Angel of Death. And then Archangel's cool. Everybody likes Archangel now.
Minus the wing.
Will Spertasio's drawings of Archangel always had me back in the day. When he was doing X Factor before he did X-Men. I was like, oh, this artist could draw this dude.
Okay, so here's an interesting question from Joe 47771. First costume is always more important than first powers. Agree or not agree? So for instance,
no, because there's a lot of people who get out there and wreck shit, ape shit, fucking multiple books before they get a costume.
Yeah.
So, for instance, Kamala Khan, she's had 2 costume changes to include the one that just came out this past week. And
ain't nobody clamoring over the Hellfire Gala over that one. In fact, there's... I'm not happy with Marvel for doing this right now because they're just pandering, and trying to pander instead of writing good stories.
It's about the vibe, man. I don't know. I disagree. I think well, there's your first appearance, and I don't care about when you get your first powers. I don't care. It's like when you get your first appearance, first panel. That's it.
So let's talk about this for a second then, because we have Kamala Khan showing just the gun at the end of Captain Marvel 17, right? But she's in costume on the cover of the second print. That's the reason why everybody goes ape shit over her, because it's actually not only her first appearance, it's her first full appearance on the cover in costume. Right?
Yeah.
It's only on the second print is that valid. So that's why that second print, that specific book, hit a whole bunch of buttons, and that's the reason why everybody went ape shit for it, right? And then the point was long. Like, oh, she's on the cover, and it's her first full story. Well, I mean, it was her origin story. We get to see, you know, a little bit of that, but the origin also happens in Ms. Marvel #1, where they really show her, you know, getting Terrigenesis out. So it's like, you know, with all those different books there, the 17-second print's still the one people go for, even though the guts ain't got nothing.
Yeah, I got that book, and as a owner of the book, I get to say fuck that book. No, first appearance.
So wait, because that counts as a costume. That counts as a costume. All right, so
or the Ultimate Fallout 4 then. I mean, and then the Spider-Man series where his costume.
That's another good example. Miles Morales in Ultimate Fallout 4 wearing Peter Parker's old costume until he gets the new suit in Spider-Man like number 6
or 5 or
So that book's a monster now because of that, right?
But it's valid. It's valid to his question.
And I'm not trying to discount the validity of Ms. Marvel's costume.
No, I'm saying it's
or Mary Jane getting a costume either. It's just like her first appearance as that person with powers and stuff, you know, still happened like mad books before. And like, so back to Ms. Marvel though. So then we got the Storm Ranger costume, which you guys been watching those Marvel's trailers closely?
No, I hate trailers.
I'm pretty sure we see Kamala go to the Kree homeworld, or at least Kree occupied territory.
Yeah, makes sense.
And we see the costume update that happens
exactly
in the movie, but I can't confirm or deny if she's going to get some high tech Storm Ranger, you know, and make those books valid.
But if they are, then that's a whole other.
If they are valid, then all those books are going to take off again. and they've already cooled off. All the Ms. Marvel shit has cooled off. And hold up, because I haven't been on since the win. Shout out to Decor, Ultra Box winner in the live chat. My man said, "Hey, bro, I know you got life going on. Just get it out to me when you can." I said, "Bro, thank you. I'm gonna get it out to you as soon as possible." It's all sitting right here. And this man beneath me right here is going to help me out with this label, and it should be going out in the next couple of days, tops. So congratulations to you, my man, and thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, Decor, man.
I again, life is
best person that could have got it, man. You know what I'm saying?
But
real talk, that's the best person that could have got it. You feel me?
Sure.
Sure. Right. That's the
so. All right, back to this Ms. Marvel shit. So we got Storm Ranger costume. And then now we got the new mutant Ms. Marvel costume.
Mm-hmm.
So you think that John Tyler Christopher going to be the one?
So what people got to remember is that the current Ms. Marvel that's out there that is alive, that is not the old Ms. Marvel. It is a new Ms. Marvel. So, and they've established that the people that are cloned and everything come out of those eggs, they're different. Because they even had the old mutants come out of freaking hiding. They were in this one weird part of Krakoa, and years have passed, and they came out looking gray and wrinkled and shit. And they're just alive at the same time that the new clone ones are. So this totally different people from the old Kamala Khan and the new Kamala Khan.
And it's weird because it's okay, so Cyclops, Wolverine, and all the X-Men are dead. The original X-Men, they're long dead. The people that you got now?
Well, some of them are still alive. They just been hidden away.
So, I never got a chance to really ask you this, but when the whole House of X, Powers of 10, when all that shit started, and there was all those timelines or whatever, remember? Mm-hmm. That was the whole premise of it.
Yep.
But then that part didn't kind of consider or explain to us Krakoa.
Because Krakoa could only happen in this timeline when Moira showed Charles. Now here's the greatest out the X-Men currently have. We don't know if they're in the mainstream Marvel Cinematic Universe or the mainstream Marvel Universe timeline with the current Moira timeline, because she's been shot with the anti or the mutant deactivation gun. Who also, people miss this, but I caught it. Forge got shot with that shit, but then he died and got resurrected. Mm-hmm. So if you get shot with Forge's anti-mutant gun, you die and you get resurrected.
Mm-hmm. But that was early, right? When they were
yeah, and there's also a plot hole with Proteus, her son.
But my thing is that kind of the whole Krakoa timeline kind of that's erases the House of X Powers of 10 to me, because you can resurrect these mutants at any time for any reason, so that gives them all the timelines.
Well, now that she's been depowered, we don't know what will happen if we kill Moira.
But that's what I mean. Is this
a Sinister timeline happened though, and they were able to reset it somehow? And I'm I didn't read Sins of Sinister. I'm not even. I was out. I was out of.
Right. So what you need to know is that the title Sins of Sinister has ended, but the repercussions is still happening. I'm trying to remember which book it is. So Avengers #1, it follows into what happened to Sins of Sinister. So I'm talking about the one that's coming out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, after the Fall of X, the whole Fall of X stuff is where I'm probably going to jump back in again.
Right. No, so I'm sorry. It's called Avengers #1, Avengers Incorporated #1. It's one that we'll see this week.
Is it? It's not the Uncanny Avengers?
I stopped after Fallen Angels. Once I finished Fallen Angels, I was like, I ain't going no further.
Yes. Jay Nunny was asking, did Mr. Sinister have clones of Moira? That is yes. He had a few. That way he can jump in between back and forth and timelines and just keep doing and trying to.
And that's what I'm saying. That part of it. That's where I'm feeling all that. It doesn't even. It's watered down now. whoever's right. I don't know if this was Hickman's initial plan, like after he stopped, like because they're kind of watering out, and then he's coming back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
so we got to go back to the initial overarching plan. Is that right now, sometime in the future, whether it be like 1,000 years into the future or whatever, there's this thing called the Dominion, and the Dominion is humanity just deciding to like go up and just like give up our energy so we could be part of this whole big entity so we can fight the mutants. And the mutants are fighting against that because they understand that they can survive because they are highly evolved beings, and they're just trying to fight that. Their first so their first fight against that is Krakoa, right? So they can get together, figured out what they got and everything, because Mora has tipped them off that this is coming. So now they're just, it's a fight against that. In the meantime, while they're getting all these people into the fold, everybody's doesn't really understand that. They just know that, hey, we're on Krakoa, and they think that the big deal is having a state that's us against the freaking world. No, that's not the eventual thing. It's the whole Dominion, because when the Dominion comes, it kills everything, right? The whole universe. It's not just
assimilating everything.
Not just one universe, not just one galaxy, galaxies. Right?
Yeah.
So that's the big deal why this is. So in the meantime, you've got all this other stuff happening underneath with Sense of Sinister, because Sinister knows it's coming as well, and he's just trying to do what he can to help, and he knows the end game, but you can only explain so much to the other folks because they don't have the mind or the capacity to understand that right now. So it's a wild freaking ride right now.
X-Men has the most deepest storylines and everything, and that's where the movies would be crazy, because you could pluck little movies out of all of their storylines. But like,
you could.
I don't know, man. They lose me in all the storylines. You know what I mean? There's just so many. It's like a soap opera. They're just like boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? And it's like you get lost in the sauce. At least I do. I don't have the attention span for all of it. All the crossovers.
Well, you know what? So going back to the Power of X and House of X, I was so happy when they did that, because I was lost. Right? It was like, okay, there's all these X books out there, and there's all these other characters, and then I'm not tracking like who they are, or what they're for. So when they did Power of X and House of X, it was like they rebooted the whole thing and started explaining these characters on what their capabilities were and how they would fit into a society, and that was amazing to me. So now I when I read it, I kind of understand like where they came from, where they should be. So when they pluck them out of here and then put them over this other storyline, there's actually some continuity to it. There's some actually like I'm the puppets to it.
Well, I'm just trying to add characters together.
See, Hickman ends the story with Krakoa and Inferno 4-part series. I stopped keeping up after that. So that's fair, right? But you do need to know is that it didn't really end there, because in House of X, Power of X, they actually foretold what was going to happen to Sinister, because I forget which book it was, but there was like an actual map, and it says, hey, this generation does this, right? So each time they clone somebody, it's like a part of a generation, and it said this generation does this and this generation does this. And I think they said it was a fifth generation that was corrupted. That would be the Sense of Sinister, and it says, hey, these sinister bitches freaking almost kill everybody. Right, so that's where we're at right now. The Sense of Sinister motherfuckers are still running around. They're getting ready to fucking kill it. They've already been killing people. They're getting ready to kill everybody, especially all the mutants. And they're gonna have to do another reboot. I just don't know how they're gonna clean it up from there. Hoxpox. Yep, Hox. I was like, what? He had me freaking going crazy. I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
No, it was dope, and that's where I got back into it. But they went down all these different in the very beginning. After it ended, they went to a brand new X-Men. They went to this story. They went to X Fallen
Stories of X. I think people.
I kind of like
people around Stories of X.
It's cool, but for me, I had to pick. You know what I mean? Because it was like I was trying to keep up, and I was reading them, and I'm like, okay, this is dope. I don't really want to read this anymore. I'm gonna read, and I went with Fallen Angels, and that was dope. But then it ended, and I was just kind of like, whoa, wait, hold on.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And then it didn't.
Me off too, man. Kid Cable, Laura,
yeah,
and Psylocke.
Yeah,
like
it was cool.
and Psylocke, like not Betsy Braddock Psylocke, like legit Psylocke.
And the storyline was dope. They were sick.
It was dope, and of course, Deodato Jr. had that second print big booty.
Yeah, they were doing some real shit, man. But yeah. No, I can see what Jay Nunya said. Yeah, that.
So there's just so much though. So like the Hellfire Gala every year is there to select new X-Men, but Cannonball and Dazzler and Jubilee and Sync and old Laura got axed. So what are they going to do now? Are they going to bring back old Laura, or is she done for? You know what I mean? Like and Juggernaut. They made Juggernaut a mutant, didn't they?
Yes.
So in order to bring him back, they had to make him a mutant first.
Wait, so he was on Krakoa? They let him through?
He was one of the people who just got murked in the bloodbath that was the Red Wedding of Hellfire Gala 2022.
Wait, but what I'm saying, how did he get there?
Because he's a mutant.
But
they made him a mutant in his miniseries, wasn't it?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, you gotta remember they don't really distinguish bad guys versus good guys.
No. What I'm saying is I knew he wasn't. He was due to the jewels or whatever they made him.
The Siderax emerald.
Well, he wasn't a mutant. That's what I'm saying. I know
that was the original way it was. That's right. It was all magic that made him the fucking
like Krakoa wouldn't have let him through the
gate because he's not a mutant. And then X-Men 3, the movie came out and they made Juggernaut a mutant in that. And I was like, oh, what? Huh? And he's also Professor X's brother, but he didn't remember him in the movie, which is fun.
But that's what I mean. Like, that's why, yeah, exactly.
And in Deadpool had the best rendition of Juggernaut.
Yeah, that one was better,
yeah. Yeah, Deadpool 2. Yeah, it was great.
Mm-hmm. Wikified says there's got to be so many titles I had to pull the plug.
Yeah, I was only collecting the Immortal X-Men Noto Quiet Council variants.
Yeah,
that was that the X-Men Red Torrin Clarks. Those were in my pull. Like I was collecting X-Men art, but I was reading I'd speed read that book on the fucking shelf. Come on. Oh my god, damn, check this out. Put it back and then buy the variants that I want.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to the Terra Peak search, once again, number one, and this what got us off on the rails on this one was that Amazing Spider-Man 31 second print. You brought up the fact that that JTC was the one, but the thing is, it was so expensive. I feel like people are kind of shy about spending money on that one, and people may be waiting for the price to go down on that one. It's beautiful. It looks great to me.
But is the juice worth the squeeze on all these guys for people trying to go and flip these? No, not at a fixed price of $8.97.
Yeah, you see,
sure. You if you found a stack of them and you moved 63 copies, sure. But you're not moving all 63 of those copies. That's a combined of all the eBay sales of that book, right?
Yeah. Then the Incredible Hulk number 181, that facsimile foil edition, still selling slowly but surely, but it's still selling. Spider-Man Annual number 1, The Contest of Chaos, Marvel 2023. I think that's just came out, I believe. That was still doing okay. This one is not on FLC, but it's coming out in November. Spider-Boy number 1, all the regular covers. We don't really have a lot of the covers yet, but it does have the numbers to go behind it. I haven't seen this from my end. Venom number 23, that spoiler variant, the one with Black Widow as freaking Venom. That one's doing well as well. But she doesn't actually show up inside the story, so we're thinking that she's not going to show up as actual Venom until like this issue number 2. And
I'm pretty sure there's a Venomized Black Widow cover out there that predates this.
Yes, it was the one of what's the name of the guy? Null, right? She was nullified.
Nullified. There's a nullified Black Widow.
Yeah.
I gotta dig deeper because I'm pretty sure I've seen a Venomized Black Widow before that nullified cover, but I know the nullified one you're talking about.
Well, yeah. So there was once again Marvel keeps going back to the well on this one, and they keep venomizing all these freaking characters from
They did a bunch of
Raccoon,
covers, and I have them. The only Venomized one I didn't save, I think, is it was a cover for a book that got popular. So I sold.
It sounds like an Ultra Matrix that needs to happen.
It probably is. It probably already was.
No, you haven't done that one yet. But
Venomized covers?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Look, I covered so many books in like the first like couple seasons. Like, dude.
I remember.
But it's fine. I'll
have to pick it up again.
Well,
if anybody cares, if you guys want to see that again or see Ultra do a new Venomized, freaking let us know in the freaking chat or in the comments, and then see if Ultra can find some time to put it together.
We're asking everywhere online about it, and I'll get to it eventually. That's all you got to do, right?
Bringing up the rear. Not once again, these aren't out, but that's that Death of the Venom verse #1. It's number 1 or number 4 or something like that. But it's the one. It's going to be the first appearance of Kid Venom, not Manga Kid, but Kid Venom. And then there's a Supergirl cover that's out there. It looks fantastic. Looks freaking beautiful. I'm just wouldn't go heavy on that one because I've seen absolutely more gorgeous art germ covers. Looks exactly the same. Nobody cares about those anymore. Comics and Sneakers is asking, wasn't she anti-Venom?
I know Black Hat had that anti-Venom in the Null story, King of Black story. Yeah. But I don't know about her. Maybe.
For pre-sale search inside the entire big search engine, once again, Amazing Spider-Man number 31, second print, doing really well. Ghost Rider number 17, Spider-Man number 11. Once again, people are loving Spider-Boy along with Amazing Spider-Man, even though he pissed off Peter Parker for some freaking reason. The title that's actually kind of low-key that's out there that is doing okay is Ghost Rider Wolverine Weapons of Vengeance. It Alpha. Just came out this past week. Yeah, Alpha. It just came out this week. There is a first appearance of a little boy who is just evil to all hell, just coming across you. He's killing you on sight. So we just don't know what's going on with that.
Did it just hit Previews magazine this week because it says 9/23. 9/18/23. Is that FOC next?
So it came out like it actually released.
The one that came out this week, right?
Right. Oh. So this is what pisses me off about people in their freaking eBay listings. Like, okay, got it. It's a pre-sale, right? Got it. But you need to put the pre-sale when you put the date that's inside the pre-sale. You actually need to put when it actually comes out instead of like when you think you're FOC, because this was not the FOC for this fucking. So I don't know what date they're fucking putting in there. And then once it actually comes out, take pre-sale out. Just freaking fucking take it out. You're not freaking fooling anybody. Just fucking take the shit out. You don't fucking need this. Then Iron Man Annual number 1 that has not come out yet, or maybe it has. I don't remember. Daredevil number 14, Batman Superman World's Finest number 18, Red Goblin number 7. Batman White Knight presents Generation Joker number 4, and coming up in the rear, once again, this is the one that's actually on FOC, not on FOC this week, but hasn't hit FOC this week. It's Spider-Boy number 1, those all covers. Steve Schuss is saying that he's surprised that Edge of Vitamverse number 2, Kid Venom variant isn't number 1. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess people are loving the new fact that Kamala Khan is a mutant, and that's why. And people are, instead of going hard on the first print, people are going hard on the second print.
Didn't they have a version of that was a design variant? I saw it and then I didn't see it after that.
Which book?
For Kid Venom on the cover?
Wasn't that it would have been like if it wasn't a 1 in 10, it would have been like a open order variant.
Well, something like that, and he almost looked like a samurai or some shit.
No, that was the samurai Venom from number 1.
Was
same
that
book.
what?
Same book.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. That's what I was thinking of. That one.
Yeah, because that's what everybody was like hyping up like before the book even dropped. Ooh, there's a samurai Venom. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I didn't want to see that. I thought that was the whole thing of his character it was almost like he was like feudal symbiote from feudal Japan or some shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, let's see what's going on in.
Because isn't technically Kid Venom villain? like
Spider Boy's gonna need a Venom villain. You know what I'm saying?
That is what I was also thinking too.
All right, so hitting Netflix this week is The Chosen, which is based off of Mark Miller's freaking book called American Jesus. One thing is, it's not going to be quite in English. It's going to be mostly in Spanish. It's about a girl named Jody who realizes she has some of the same powers as Jesus. And I haven't read the book, so I don't know any more than that. Netflix has been kind of weirdly been on a freaking roll, man. They've got Zombie 100. They've got Zombie Universe that just came out this week. They've got the High Rise with Jackie Chan that just came out a couple weeks ago. And all this was on Netflix. And then they've got this, which is going to be based in Mexico, I believe. So it feels like they are sending a message. Once again, this is around this whole what do you call it? The
actor strike.
Strike, yeah, the whole strike. That they don't really need American writers. They don't really need American actors to keep doing their freaking thing. And I agree, but it's strong right now because their numbers that's been popping up, like the stuff that's been in the top 10 has been really freaking strong. The one that was an American show. Excuse me, it's not an American show. It's an American movie. It's what is it? Happiness for Beginners. It's with this one actress named Kimmy, who she's quirky and everything, and she's had quite a few weird shows and everything. That one's actually pretty good. It was like in the top 4 or 5 on Netflix or anything. So that's the only American one that was in the top 10 this week. The other one was Mech Cadets. That just came out this week as well. I have not watched it.
I do want to watch that for sure.
Yeah, definitely, man. Freaking look, if it's good, I'm gonna have to start freaking collecting and seeing what that's all about. But yeah, that freaking came out. I have not seen any reviews on what people think. Apparently, it's either this week or next week that the volume 2 is supposed to come out in freaking comic books.
Do they have toys for this? Do you know?
Oh yeah. They got toys, statues, T-shirts. They got the whole shebang. Joe 4771 is saying he can only watch so much foreign content. Well, just remember, what's the name of that freaking one with the dragons? Game of Thrones. That's foreign content. That's UK, right? So, I mean, people love that show. Jay Nunez says Mechadeath's animation looks whack to me. You know.
Take them rhymes back to the factory.
Yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin officially revealed through teaser trailer. I think I'll take the hit on this one.
The Nickelodeon production?
Yeah. And it's weird, right? Because they don't actually show The Last Ronin in this one. But it's just a trailer.
This is the
Burning
game.
Candles,
right?
The game, yes. So yeah, once again, I'm not sure because Last Ronin is set sometime in the future. Oh, there we go. Here's the last one. That's about it. So looks like they're still continuing on with that thing with the game. And so I mean, look, here's the hope, right? Miles Morales definitely got a boost when his video game came out. So I guess the hope is that, hey, Last Ronin, he'll get a bump when the video comes out, or when the video game comes out. But it was when Miles Morales video game was announced that it got the bump, and so far, Last Ronin has not got that same bump right now. Nobody really cares about it right now. So, Amazing Spider-Man #1. Right? This is not even the first appearance, but it did sell for $520,000. Sir, what say you? Should we be looking at first appearances?
This is not the typical first appearance, man. Like 500 grand. Like this is holy hell. Is Spider-Man more popular than Superman? Some people would argue yes. Some people would argue that more hits on Spider-Man for either comic books or T-shirts or videos or anything like that happen every day over top of Superman's popularity. So if that's the case, I don't know, man. This is like baller type of stuff. Are you sure it wasn't one of the big three that was buying one of these? Was it my boys over at State Street, BlackRock, or Vanguard? These price fixing bastards.
Hey, it became a thing, right? Look, during the pandemic, it did become a thing where people were getting these comics and cards, and then you could buy a share of a comic and a card. So, yeah. It was a thing, right? I haven't heard much more about it, but it was a thing, which is weird, right? Because you can't really, when it comes to insuring comics, right? You can insure cars, but insuring comics, it's not that easy. And I know that because I try to get with USAA, have somebody come on the show and explain like how they did it. And then they like, oh yeah, we get some money. And then they actually talk to the guy who's like, no, we're not doing that. We just said we do. We're not doing that shit. So it's weird, man. So that's how we'll know that this hobby is actually like off and running, is when we actually have auditors that are running around and actually doing value estimates on actual some of our freaking books. Six Boys 73 says more Superman fans have died since 1940 than Spider-Mans have since 1963.
Yeah, and the generation after the one is a lot bigger.
I don't know. So I mean, what would be the generations after that superhero? Are we going? I mean, I guess after Spider-Man, then you got Wolverine, and then after Wolverine,
he's the biggest superhero as far as I think popularity goes. Wolverine for sure.
Yeah, and then after that, then you go to Miles Morales. And then I don't know who we would go to after that.
I don't know, man. People want Miles to have that popularity, but he's not as big as people make it out. The only comic book heads is he big, and now, of course, with the Spider-Verse movies, he's getting there. But there's still more Spider-Man fans that know Spider-Man is Peter Parker. Until they die, y'all gotta wait.
You got the Hulk. You got Fantastic Four.
Yeah, there's so many other heroes, man, that they're still there.
Hartman Comics wants me to read back through the comments.
What do you say during the TMNT stuff?
That's what I'm looking for. I don't
think any of his comments got approved.
Yeah. I think yeah, I don't. Or is he talking about maybe from another podcast or something like that?
I don't know. Maybe he's on a different channel that we're not seeing.
Yeah,
I don't see it.
It's
months ago. Oh, months ago. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going crazy. I'm like,
yo, making me feel like an asshole for not reading your shit. Let's see. Yep. All right. So, of course, like, how fucked up of a country are you that you think that $1 billion fucking movie gives a fuck whether you ban them or not? You're not fucking hurting their pockets right now, man. So Kuwait decided to ban Barbie,
Huh.
and Lebanon is looking to ban it as well because it promotes homosexuality.
Oh, really?
Here's the fucking problem with that idea. Who is gay? Oh, I guess I'm the only one that's actually watching the movie. But who is gay inside the Barbie movie? Nobody. There's no guy on guy action happening in the freaking movie. There is one guy whose name is not Ken, and he's not. I guess the word would be male toxic like the other guys. Like he's not off the wall balls crazy, but that doesn't mean he's gay.
Yeah, well,
right? So it's on them that they are projecting homosexuality on this one character, and it's kind of funny when you do that. That oh man, this guy's freaking gay, and you project homosexuality. You know who does that?
if they're all Ken dolls, aren't they like the Thing from the 2015 Fantastic Four? They ain't got no dick.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you. So yeah,
there's no girlfriends, there's no boyfriends. They're all just freaking dolls, right? So I would say that the people who tend to project homosexuality when there is no homosexuality are closet homosexuals.
Yeah, I just like to refer to them as low testosterone, but you can call them that too.
Oh, Armored Car says, "Will, if rollerblades are homo, what?" Don't say that in DC, though. Don't say that in DC and Baltimore. They will rap. It'll be a rap. You'll have a white chair, freaking Montgomery situation on your hands, man. Go ahead, motherfuckers love their fucking rollerblades. Afghanistan banned music, and they took away women's right to an education recently. Well, they didn't take away their rights. They closed the schools, right? They're like, oh yeah, they have right to an education, but we don't have money.
We don't need the learning. We do not need the women learning.
Well, no, they said we don't have the money to maintain the freaking schools, so we're going to close the schools for right now. And it was like, get the fuck out of here.
That's not what it was.
We're just gonna
exactly with it.
You can go to school. You can go to school. But we're just gonna close them all. So
yeah,
And it doesn't like water, but all the water faucets broken.
He's reading through Beetle reviews, and it's honestly exciting. And my son was like, "Daddy, I want to see a movie. It's called The Blue Beetle." I was like, "Ooh, I don't know if you can watch that yet, though." I'm like, "You need to watch the Avengers before you can go see Blue Beetle." He's like, "Why?" I'm like, because you need to see a Marvel movie. You can't be having no DC movies in your priorities. You gotta have the Marvel movies first, kid. You know what house this is?
Mm-hmm. Jay Ninja says the Middle East has ladyboys. Everybody's got ladyboys, man. Come on now. Florida's not.
You don't know what them dudes look like underneath their shit.
Barbie invented spooning. I'm reading through Blue Beetle reviews, and honestly, I'm getting excited. But as always with DC movies, I'm keeping my expectations at a minimum. And then a good educated parent could do better than any school. That's true, but you got to remember.
Well, home teaching is not allowed either. It is forbidden. So if homeschooling is forbidden and the outside school's closed, you have no options. We're sorry.
Sorry.
Oppenheimer, $600 million. They got that Barbenheimer bump. And once again, I fault people on this. They don't understand it's not a biopic. Right?
Hey, I'm just wondering why is it frowned upon to chant USA when the bomb goes off and works?
Because you gotta pray for all the victims and everything.
USA.
You know, so here's the problem. And this is why it's not a biopic or it should be considered historically accurate, because they don't give the context of why they were rushing to freaking build the freaking bomb, which was number one, the bombing on Pearl Harbor, right? And then like how hard that the Marine Corps and the Army had to fight, like Okinawa and Ashima and all those little tiny Marshall Islands, and they don't even get the context of the big thing that happened December 9th through the 10th through the 11th of all those freaking bombings and the attacks, right? So don't give that context because it's not that type of movie. It's not a biopic.
Well,
it's a
Oppenheimer, because if it weren't for him, we would never have gotten the Silver Samurai and the Wolverine.
But it's not it's not that movie. It's not that type of movie. It's a mystery movie. It's a mystery spy movie. People are missing out on it. It's a mystery spy movie. Like, hey, we were building it, we were rushing it, and this shit got freaking leaked. Now we got to figure out who freaking leaked it, and they're giving you all the possibilities of like what happened. That's what that movie is. Again, it's not a biopic historical that movie.
Oh, it's Clue.
Yes, exactly. But with kind of, it's like a dark Clue.
Yeah.
Dark Clue.
That the creating the bomb is the backdrop.
Exactly. The World War II is the backdrop, but they even go past what happened when they built the bomb, which was pretty interesting. I did like the fact that they did add that in there. And who was the guy that was in here that was at Los Alamos? You could probably give some more reads on that. Let's see where we at. Okay, so Twisted Metal. I don't know if you guys have watched this one yet. I've liked it, right? The dude who played Falcon. Mm-hmm. And it's actually pretty freaking good. I expected it to be freaking terrible. It was actually pretty good. It's now it's a problem. We got a whole bunch of properties that are games, and they're moving into the movie and the TV show realm, and they're not crappy anymore. They're actually pretty fucking good, man.
So what you're saying is speculate on the first appearances in graded video games?
I don't know. I don't want to say that, but I did see Twisted Metal, the comic book, get freaking a bump. Of course, people really aren't on the collecting the game shit, but I just gotta say, maybe we kind of pull back on, speculating on some of these comic books that are going to be movies, and we start freaking paying more attention to some of these games right now.
Well,
Sam's Group says his wife finished it before he did. Yep.
They got a Gran Turismo comic book.
I believe they do. See, that's what I was getting into. Is like most of these video games have actually had comic book adaptations, though. So since there's adaptations that already exist, those are going to be chases.
Jane says DS collection of games have gone up in price. Yep, I can see that.
Well, I mean, all the older games now, you can't if you can't realistically go to your GameStop and buy a copy of the game, it's probably rare. Because if it hasn't been traded in yet, it's a game that people want. DC Manga already came out. Yeah, so DC Manga did that weird Batman story where Joker fucking takes care of a baby Batman.
Yes.
And then there was a Superman story, and I think there was another one that was a Harley Quinn story, right? I think those were the three that I saw.
Yep. Sticks Boy says putting on Peacock worries me.
Yeah, really.
I will say, the one thing that Peacock has, they don't have regular manga and anime, right? They've got like fan service anime, right? They've got anime where most of those characters are like fucking, so it's a little weird. But Peacock, man, they did surprise me. They got a lot of shows that are watchable. I just keep forgetting that I even had them, motherfucker. That's the fucking problem. Says he might actually read that baby Batman manga. And Jaden says he bought Punisher for PS2 a couple years ago for $15. And Brian price now is $45. Are you going to get it CGC? That's another question. Like, are you going to get slabbed? Because that's barely a fucking thing now. But yeah, so when it comes to like that manga anime stuff, you got to remember like their trajectory and the way their timelines are a little bit way different than ours, right? Whereas in Hollywood, you got some nutcase running around Hollywood fucking script. Buy my fucking script. Whereas when it comes to manga and anime stuff, what happens is it goes on Webtoon first. Then after it gets a whole bunch of likes and views on Webtoon, then they change it to a book. from the book now becomes an actual animation thing, and then from animation, then it goes to live action. So it's actually something that you can freaking follow, and it does once again because they don't have the same unit rules and everything that we do. It's quick, man. It could take between like 4 to 5 years for that whole freaking evolution to freaking happen, where it takes fucking other movies like sometimes 10, 11 years to get all that freaking going. Right? Let's see. Netflix unveiled a slate of Japanese dating comedy shows as part of a wider push into the unscripted content across Asia.
Yeah, why do we care? In the United States, are we really consuming the Asian content?
Because
we are huge.
That's the only stuff that can be really watched on TV right now because of the strike. It's unscripted.
So yeah, once again, manga anime was huge on the Korea dramas. People are picking up on that, man. And we're not talking about people, immigrants. We're talking about just regular people. Like, oh shit, this Korean drama, these K dramas are the freaking shit, right?
So this is the replacement for soap operas for old parents.
Nobody's really watching soap operas anymore.
There's only like 2 or 3, man. There's only like 2 or 3.
No, because I know the old soap operas be dying off. So I mean, like,
it's literally like an hour or 2 a day, maybe.
So all them old people that died watching them old soap operas are now like reincarnated, looking for shit to watch. So they're gonna watch this.
Yeah. So just like Remo was saying, while this whole strike thing was happening, Netflix had already had all this stuff in the queue and ready to freaking go. And I'm telling you, man, I've been watching this shit, and I'm like,
but isn't Netflix like basically not like affected by the writer strike because it's not Hollywood? Because they're
in front of
international production.
It is.
They're picketing in front of their offices. Their offices are not too far from me, and they're out there in front of Netflix picketing.
Yeah, because they're the main people that are holding back the numbers so they don't have to pay out the residuals.
Yeah, I saw the meme that went by. It was like all these companies won't pay out like 0.01% of their fucking revenue to end these strikes. I'm like, yeah, well,
because they know. I mean,
I work for a corporate overlord that takes half of every gig I'm assigned, or up to 70%, depending if it's an airport or not. So believe me, I get it. It's like there's all these corporations are doing is just gut punching everybody, wherever they can and nickel and diamond. Like look at Disney Plus with fucking raising the prices that they got coming in. You want commercial free?
So what was actually funny is SAG-AFTRA and he put out this press release about Squid Games, right? Because Squid Games was like one of the top freaking shows that Netflix had, and they said the Squid Game actors are not happy because they're not getting paid the residuals, and then the Squid Game got people like, what the fuck you talking about? We got paid during the fucking thing. They don't give a fuck. They're already moving freaking on. So SAG-AFTRA they're doing some weird freaking tactics to freaking get their freaking point across, and the Koreans and the Japanese and the Indians, they are not with their bullshit, right? Because they're like, they know that
they don't need it. They don't need they don't need our market.
they know that the reason why Netflix and Disney are coming to them is because they don't have the same bullshit. So,
but not only that, like they don't need it. Like, dude, India is a big place. There's a lot of people there. Like what they consume, like if you offer it to them, it's gonna be it's for the population. It has nothing to do with the race of people or whatever. It's just it's purely numbers. You know what I mean? It's like they have all these people into this thing and they want in. They went into it. They want in. You know what I mean? Like that's all there is to it. Like Netflix is about that paper, man, and they'll pay whoever to get more. You know what I mean? Like they'll give you what you want because if I give you 50 million, I'm gonna make back 150.
Well, that's what they want. But what did Bob Iger say about the Disney movies lately?
Yeah.
Whoops.
Jay Nenya says Hollywood knows they don't need the majority of production due to AI. So that is that is like one of like 70 points that they made. The actors, because when you go to the streets and you ask actors like what's this all about, it's like, well, we don't like the fact that they're using AI to put people in, and now they don't have to pay me some shit. It's like, no, you don't even have to say that shit. But once again, okay, so they do. So they fucking do. Guess what? They don't even really need you. They just got to get some really good artists to draw fucking people, and then that's it. Right? So this is a basic the losing point for SAG after that they don't have any leverage for the stuff that they're fucking fighting for. Joe 47.7 says we need a pirate channel with everything like the old days. So back in the days, there was a channel, there was a internet channel called Justin TV, and everything you wanted to watch, whether it was movies, and I'm talking about stuff that just came out 2 or 3 days ago, or sports, right? All that stuff was on there, and then they got shut down. You know what they did after that? They built.
Which place?
It was called Justin TV. Then they shut it down. They approved their model. You know what they're called now? They're called Twitch. Right. The problem is because they register as an American company, they can't do all the same shenanigans that they did. So, you know who freaking picked up the slack on that? A little freaking company called ByteDance, also known as TikTok. Right. So TikTok, people are like, "Oh man, TikTok is nothing but teenagers dancing and assholes freaking saying weird stuff." Like, no, what you do get is a lot of people putting it in streaming movies and sports and all the other good freaking stuff. So if you need to freaking find something, that's what you might want to freaking go ahead and freaking check out. If you don't mind, compromising your telephones and all that stuff. Sandra says these big companies have a lot of money tied in writers for first look deals, and they haven't even put out content yet. So next week, I think I just talked about this. Mark Miller has The Chosen One coming out. So we'll see how that pans out for him. So this is Chosen One, and that's the first one after Jupiter 1, or I think it was a Jupiter or Mercury, Rising Jupiter or something like that. That superhero joint that came out. Twitches are doing too bad. Twitches are doing too bad. I do pirate everything. It's called a fire stick and putting on BTV. Just nothing. I can't watch brand new movies on every TV show. Okay?
Well, I mean, I was looking at Joe 47. He said, "Well, not exactly. Each region of the world needs to do well." Yeah, but if you've watched a lot of Netflix programming, you can definitely see the regions they're trying to get into. A lot of their shows, like if just like they have shows where it's just strictly about Indian bachelors and bachelorettes. You know what I mean? Dating. Successful ones in the United States, either deciding if they want to marry back home or marry out here. You know what I mean? Like that's strictly trying to, cater to India. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's a numbers game. You know what I mean? Like if you're in Hollywood and you're telling us you can't make movies, but I can make movies in India and they're gonna sell to 1 billion people, then guess what? Guess where my Hollywood's gonna become? It's gonna be Bollywood. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna get this money. Like the amount of people who subscribe to Netflix, if you got the programming from them, they're gonna continue to pay that bill every month.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like it's not gonna be about they're gonna gift those subscriptions to friends. They're not gonna be like, here's my code. They're gonna be like, you know what, I'm gonna buy one for you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the difference. So I mean,
Sam Groups was right away. It was called Jupiter's Legacy. That's the show I was thinking about.
Yeah. It only got one season, and then they canned it.
Yeah, it was.
They're not going to give it another one. They said
it was saturated because you already had Invincibles, right? You already had Invincibles, then you had Bad Boys. Was it Bad Boys? Oh, The Boys. Excuse me.
Oh, bro, did you hear about Peter Cullen doing some voice work for Invincible season 3?
I have not.
Oh, well, Drunken Chatters, if you didn't know, my man, the voice behind Optimus Prime, to all sentient beings out there, in the name of freedom. He brings the fight to you, and apparently he's going to be bringing the fight, the Peter Cullen voice, to somewhere in Invincible season 3, animated. So look for that.
Okay.
Tight, right?
Nice. I can't believe that show's still making its round.
I finally watched Transformers, by the way, in the last 2 weeks.
Season 1?
No. Rise of the Beast.
Okay. The movie.
Rise of the Beast. And here's the thing. How come the real Scourge that's in that the Scourge that's in that one is the Beast Wars Scourge, by the way. So that's Spec Matrix. Another hit. So yeah, it's pretty cool that they took him, but they made him a truck, which is weird. But it is the same dude. You can tell by his elongated hand with the claw and a lot of the mannerisms about him. But same Scourge. IDW Beast Wars comic. Brought to you by Ultra. Anyway.
Okay, yeah, so we were actually talking about this earlier, that Disney is raising its prices inside the U.S. Of course, there's different tiers of the plan. Looks like Disney Plus with just the ads, it's actually going to stay the same at $7.99. With no ads, it's actually going to be $13.99. If you're getting Hulu with no ads, it's going up about $3. If you're going ESPN Plus, it's going to be. I'm looking at the UFC PPV Plus annual. It's going up about $10 to $134.98 per year.
And do you need a Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN?
Like if you're like
cable.
So if you're so here's the deal. Like if you're like me, right? You love and you cherish ESPN Plus because their articles are amazing, right? I don't give a fuck about watching ESPN Plus.
Yeah, I just need to read
the articles. Articles are amazing, especially during football season.
Yeah,
that shit's fucking amazing because there's your article. They give you like they give you like a paragraph.
It's a paywall though, but it's like you can see it, and everybody else, if you ain't paying, you don't get to read those articles. I love that. Okay. I used to hate it when I didn't have it. Like, oh, you can't read this article until it's too late. Cool.
Yeah, so if you're a wage fiend, you definitely freaking need that ESPN Plus.
But I'm looking at let's really be honest about it. If you're DraftKings, or if you're doing any kind of fucking program, you know what I mean? You need that. That's
it pays for itself. Trust me, it pays for itself.
But right there where it says 134 for the year, $134 for a year, and you get UFC pay-per-view every year, all the events for the whole year.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a fucking deal. What do you mean? You know what I'm saying? Like I pay that. Like if that's what it is, I'm doing that.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because I already paid the $7 or whatever.
Because if it's 134 for the year,
if that's like every weekend or every other weekend, there's a UFC fight, like a big one, a pay-per-view one.
Every week is what, $60 or something like
that.
That's
what I'm saying. Like people are paying like $50-$60 to watch these fights.
But they also said in early 2024 they're going to start cracking down on passport sharing. So
no, I don't. I don't share my password now, so it's not like it's a big, You know what I mean? I might have it on my app when I go to a hotel, but I mean, I don't have like, well, actually I do give it to my mom.
Hey, hold up. Steve, shush. It's a different Scourge. It's a completely different Scourge. Not the same Scourge from Unicron that created from Bombshell, Skywarp, and Thundercracker, and the other Insecticons when they got ejected out through Transformers the movie. No, we're talking about Beast Wars Scourge, kind of like there's a Beast Wars Megatron, but it's not Megatron. Get what I'm saying? So
it's the Beast Wars version of Scourge.
It's a Beast Wars Scourge, which is a different character.
Yeah. I got you.
And that's what the confusion was, because I know hardcore like Transformers animated fans were going to be like, "Well, what's going on?" Because the Unicron created like Cyclonus in the sweeps, man, and gave Scourge was like the leader of the sweeps, man. Because that was pretty cool. Let's he had an armada. Cyclonus had an armada, and Scourge had the sweeps. Yeah, tight. But no, it's a different one. Beast Wars Scourge is the dude with the one elongated arm with the claws on it, and just they adapted it to the movie. So it's kind of, there was some cool stuff too. That hit some nostalgia buttons, kind of. But Transformers movies said they don't care about continuity. Like, continuity what? Optimus Prime's going to leave Earth sometime and come back for the 2007 movie. And then you'll get all the way up to the Mark Wahlberg one.
Yeah. Moving on, Lionsgate CFO says that they lost $30 million quality hit from strikes, expresses hope for mid-fall into walkouts. Yeah, don't believe the fucking bullshit. Look, a lot of these CFOs and CEOs are going to say, yeah, we're losing freaking money because, once again, they want the shareholders to fucking sell their shit so they can go ahead and buy back a bunch of their freaking own stock at a freaking discount. And then, they can freaking make that money when everybody's going to freaking run back to freaking stocks and maybe like mid-September through November. A good quarterly freaking push. Disney is very comfortable with current liquidity position as deadline nears to buy rest of Hulu. So this is something, once again, this is the same shit that I'm talking about. They're trying to push down their freaking price so they can freaking go ahead and freaking buy back from Comcast. Because Comcast owns like 1/3 of Hulu, actually.
So they don't say anything about like when you have these articles come out and stuff like that, like, this isn't tampering. Like, that's not, you know what I mean?
Who's going to investigate him right now?
I know, but that's like so obvious. Like, this company is such and such.
So honest. Let me put this out there that I have been registered as part of the lawsuit against Disney. Because they made a lot of crazy moves when Bob Chapek was in there, that actually pushed down the price from $120 to its current price at $89 right now. So it's not just it's not just like, this is kind of funny and shady and the SEC to investigate. No, there's an actual lawsuit against these.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like. You can tell that was obvious. I mean, they're going to do such a what? Trying to buy this company, and you're talking to, man, come on now.
Well, there's been stupid rumors too of Apple trying to buy Disney,
just being in the market to buy. Period. Outside of
Disney paid a lot of money. Yeah, Disney paid a lot of money for these sports rights, and it would mix stupid money that didn't make sense unless you plan on selling it to somebody else. So I think that would be something they could do, and then sell those rights, sell like ESPN. Go ahead and sell that off to Apple as well.
Well, I see why Apple would do it.
It sucks. I hate seeing this because it's like they give you the illusion of two choices at the end, and neither one of them are any good.
Right. So the crazy thing is, people have been talking about, well, they're just going to break off Lucasfilms and just sell that piece off.
If they do that, Apple should buy that. And put it on Apple TV.
I'm happy with what Disney has done with Star Wars.
No, but I'm saying if
they'll sell Lucasfilm, but they'll keep Star Wars under Disney Plus for sure for distribution. I'm sure, because they're not dumb. They're going to always have a distribution right to that. The same way that Sony will eventually be. I forget what they got to do. They got to make like a bad Spider-Man movie. There has to be a bomb, like, in order for Marvel to get the rights back from Sony.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Well, I mean, of course not. With Sony buying out their own tickets the same way that Disney does.
Exactly. They're not going to.
We're not selling tickets. We better buy it, and make it look good.
Yeah, they're not going to let themselves.
And it's feeling like the movie theaters are like the latest eBay best offer accepted.
But see, Apple is in the Bay Area, and I think like there's a certain like you want other things from this area to be successful. So if you have a means to be able to, even if it's getting Apple is buying it back so George Lucas could take over, that type of thing. You know what I mean? Like I could see that happening. You know?
Yeah. It's. I just don't see Apple really diving in right now. They got other concerns right now. So, for instance, like the little goggles that they're hoping will revive Apple.
See, but that's what I mean. Like revive Apple, like that. They're still selling millions of iPhones every year at 1,000+ a clip.
To a bunch of dummies.
But those dummies are buying that phone though religiously.
I need a pink iPhone 15 right now. So I'm going.
Why does the air conditioning smell that way in the iPhone stores?
And that's what I'm saying. Like
crack are they putting in these fucking?
They're putting something in the air conditioning in those stores, man. You can smell it when you walk by in the mall. You're like,
I mean, so I will say
AirPods. I just bought my daughter a pair last week, so I'm just saying I'm part of those dummies. But what I'm saying is like it's still a thing. Like you know what I mean. Like if they have the. I was just looking at the schedule for the Earthquakes. Like all of the MLS games are on Apple TV. Like they have the MLS Pass. Like you can get all that stuff on Apple TV. So why wouldn't they get in the market to do something like that? You know what I mean? Okay, well, you know, we
everybody else is built.
And that's but see, that's the thing. They're printing money. It's like they have to get in and do something with that anyway. Like you know what I mean? Like they got to spend.
Until they explain to me why watching porn on goggles is a lot better than just watching on my screen. It will always.
But see, that's the thing. They're about to kill it in that. Like you know what I mean? Like they're gonna make that money back. Like this is just they're getting bored. They're like Elon Musk. They're getting bored, so they're acquiring these companies and building this shit just to fucking. All right, we did that too. You know what I mean? Like it's small accomplishments for them. You know what I mean? They have so much money, and they're only been reinvesting it in themselves and giving to the community. Like you know what I mean? Like that's the only thing they do, reinvest or philanthropy. You know what I mean? Like they're giving to the community. So. They're trying to get into the game. Like that's why you're hearing talking about let's buy Disney. Okay, and Disney Plus is free on every iPhone. You know
I think the rumors are just like the same thing like with the Cassandra Cain rumors. You ever notice how whenever there's a strike and there's actually nothing going on, that a lot of comic book spec rumors just all of a sudden just come out of nowhere and start selling books? I'm just saying, I might notice a pattern.
Just saying.
Especially when, people are known to just make shit up out of nowhere.
I saw somebody talking today, the last 2 days, talking about, well, Galactus is going to be in a Fantastic Four. Like,
however,
that's been the rumor for the last 2 years. How's that a fucking new fucking thing? What the fuck are y'all talking about? Like,
correct.
That's not new. So now they would have said, "Hey, this person is going to play Galactus or going to voice Galactus." Okay, I got you. That makes sense. But I don't know. Second Prince, man. Second and third Prince.
What do you mean, sketchy a phone company getting into entertainment media? They're copying your likeness every time you look at your phone, and it also scans for your face every 6 seconds. They are currently building you a DNA accurate replacement body, and they will offer it to you at download speeds. Oh, tis the future. Are y'all ready for Neuralink and Brave New World, and we get to watch Zuck versus
no
Musk?
No.
Musk versus Zuck. Zuck versus Musk in the cage match of all time in the Colosseum of Rome.
Yeah. So you guys know how I love throwing a little jab at Mel every once in a while, because he was part of the whole AMC is going to the moon, man. Freaking AMC is going to like $200, man.
Hey, the AMC is my local theater too. I believed in him.
Like, oh my goodness.
How they doing? How they doing, bro?
They suck, man. They suck. They're not going. let me check.
They're doing bad, huh?
Well, it's not like they're doing bad. The stock is it's a profitable company, but look, the stock is not where it's at. You're not going to retire off of AMC stock. So remember, once again, people thought it was going to go to 200. You know how much it is today? $5.26. So yeah. So anyway, what we're talking about here is, it was the CEO, Aaron is talking about back and forth. People, the stockholders saying, hey, you need to either give a dividend or invest into somewhere else. He's like, no, hold up. We want to keep our liquidity for other things. And he's hoping to spend some of that money on the popcorn business. And that does make a lot of sense, because I remember during the pandemic, my wife would run out and go to the AMC when it was still closed, and they would just buy popcorn. So they could definitely make some money off of that. But the problem is I don't know if it's going to translate into something that you can just pop into, your local Walmart. Like, I got to go to Walmart, and then I still got to pop in, and it's going to taste the same. I just don't know if it's going to freaking, stick with that. So that's
isn't a golden umbrella on somebody's head?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I do know that
pay for that? What is Joe talking about? People get paid to beat on their head, man. That's weird.
Jesus Christ. Let's see. I don't have any trailers today, so let's take a 40-second break while I find.
Good. I need to tap a kidney.
Okay, let's go. When a 3-minute break, let's go.
Oh, the time is now, the time is here. Now's the time for a bite of cheer. A tasty light where the price is right. Well, look at here, you'll dig this sight. The moment's handy for a piece of candy. Just name your brand, they're all so grand. Hey, what do you think of a nice cool drink? Or a big box filled with a popcorn thrill? Let your taste buds meet with an ice cream treat. Refresh yourselves, it's time to eat. So come on, folks, let's join the band as we all head for the refreshment stand.
And now, before the next show starts, let's enjoy an intermission. You'll find our snack bar chock full of good things to eat and drink. Tasty, tempting hot dogs, thirst-quenching soft drinks, fresh, crunchy popcorn, a complete assortment of delicious candy, and a full line of cigarettes. You've plenty of time, so visit the snack bar now. A tasty treat will double your enjoyment of the show. For your convenience, we shall keep you informed of the remaining intermission time, 3 minutes before the next show starts.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Just a minute, folks. Yes, that's all it takes to visit our refreshment counter in the lobby. There you'll find popcorn and an assortment of popular candy bars to please every taste. Try one of these delicious candy bars. Big Time, Butternut, Milkshake, Payday. Topped with Hollywood's super rich coating of the kind you like best. They taste wonderful, they're delicious, they're nutritious. Get one at our confection counter in the lobby now.
All right, we're back from break. Looks like the main man is still trying to empty the kidney, so we'll get on with it. Um, Starting August 14th, Diamond is going to have a big sale on a lot of the stuff. So usually a lot of that stuff is old incentives, 10s, 20s. I even saw like one of 500 Momoko for part one. So keep an eye out for that. If you need the list, definitely hit me up on my Instagram, Cheltenham's Beans and Cornbread. Send me your email so that when I get the list, I can actually add you to my mailing list and put that out. All right, let's get into some of the stuff that's going to be on FOC this week. I didn't come up with freaking slides because, god damn it, there was too much on freaking FOC this week, and this just made it easier. So I'm just going to go to my site if you guys want to see what's on the site at itsdrunkenchatson.com. It'll take you straight to this. And don't purchase from the site because you won't get your discount. If there's something on the site, just let me know. I'll get you hooked up with the pull box and we'll get you your discount. All right, so X-Men Red number 15. I forget who this one is. It's like some new artist, Giuliani. But then there's X-Men Hellfire Gala 2023 number 1. Second print, Phil Noto. That is the first issue where old girl Kamala Khan is back from the freaking dead or in her mutant form. And then there's the X-Men number 25, second print, Joshua Cassara. Witcher Wild Animals number 1 by Rarakina. What if Dark Spider-Gwen number 1, second print, Greg Land. I don't know why they felt that if you're going to do a second print, they're going to do the Greg Land. Nobody fucking cares about the Greg Land. Werewolf by Night, that TBD artist variant. I forget who the artist is on this one. It actually looks good. I actually read it. It is perfect for Halloween and really good. But it's got like $5.99 price on this one. The one that people might want to pay attention to is this Werewolf by Night by Adam Hughes. It's freaking gorgeous. The werewolves are a little weird, but still, it's still a freaking gorgeous freaking drawing by Adam Hughes.
That's a 1 in 25.
Is it? It's just regular. Yep, just regular. Yeah. Then there's a Venom annual number 1 coming out. Again, Van Helsing's got some stuff coming out, some absolute scandalous stuff coming out. I do like this cover to be by Guillermo Fajardo. And then there's a Vitorino that's out there as well with her ass and freaking front meat hanging out, but there's nothing that's just as good as that Fajardo. The Usagi Yojimbo Ice and Snow number 1 has got a bunch of covers coming out to include some retailer incentives that are coming out as well. But I do like some of these, these regular freaking over the water joints. They're freaking looking really good right now. There is a Sakai looks good as well. I Hate Fairland has something coming out. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Stranger Things. It's got another issue. Number 3 is coming out. And if I'm not mistaken, it's got like a wild incentive, something like a 1 in 200 or 250 or something like that. For the Exile number 6, they've got an FOC. I don't have the art for it yet. I got to go back into the Diamond System and see that's out there. But it also has a Men in Black freaking homage cover, but it's like with Wesley, which is kind of freaking weird.
Every one of the Exiled has had a good movie variant. They're all pretty decent, but you got to be a Wesley Snipes fan in order to appreciate it. And
pay your taxes, man.
I have to make my coffee press. I'll be right back.
Okay. Static Shadows of Dakota number 6. It's got another issue coming out. Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi. There's a Tarn Clark that actually doesn't look pretty bad, but I don't know if people are going to go crazy for that one.
Is this leading all into like the second season of the TV show, or is it still the first season?
It doesn't say. It says the Hit Disney. It does mention the Hit Disney Plus series has a vibe. Um, taking place after the events of Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Kenobi is tasked with keeping both Skywalker children safe from a distance until Leia Organa finds herself held in a ransom plot.
Oh, so this is the TV.
Right. So yeah, or is it before? Right, because wasn't she kidnapped during the season?
Remember, yeah, exactly. And then the third sister, remember?
Yeah. Wait, so has Riva the third sister actually had a comic appearance yet? This will be the first appearance of it.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay. Here we go.
Because that was her first appearance, right? Because she wasn't a real character until that, right?
Yeah.
So
there is a photo variant of that one. There is a 40th anniversary of it. Oh no, excuse me, it's just a regular one. And what about young Leia? She's on the cover here.
That's her first.
And there you go. There's Rayla right there.
Yeah.
There's the third sister right there on the cover, right there.
First appearance.
So that one, yep. So that's the one you want. Okay, so Star Wars Darth Vader number 38. It's got a bunch of covers.
Yeah.
Sins of the Salton Sea. I do like this one. I forget what this is a homage for. It says Cover C Film Noir homage. I forget what the actual homage is. An AWA Studios comic.
I like that cover though.
Do what now?
Let's talk about this cover for Sins of the Salton Sea.
Yeah.
So we were saying that this the Obi-Wan, the first issue is the first appearance of
Reva.
But also look on the cover, the other one has Princess Leia, the young version.
Oh, so like kind of like Baby Groot?
Yeah, you know. And he was on the cover.
So we've seen Groot, and now we give you Baby Groot, and then Toddler Groot, and then Teenage Groot.
But then Reva's on the cover too.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty cool. What about any of the other dudes?
The other Inquisitors.
Second brother, Grand Inquisitor, second brother, and third sister.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, third sister is back there on the left hand side.
Yeah. So like, Sung Kang, Fast and Furious, bro. Has his character appeared before?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think this is the first appearance of all of our.
Oh, so it was the first appearance of Grand Inquisitors appeared.
That's what I'm saying. But these other two were specifically on this show, right?
I thought they appeared before, or they were in Rebels, right? They were like on TV in Rebels or something. I don't know.
Reva was created for this show because remember that was the whole thing. Remember everybody was tripping that she was a black woman and all that. Remember?
Yeah.
No, not yet, Joe. I didn't have a break yet, but after I drink this second Yeti of coffee, maybe.
You ain't gonna have a choice.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
That's my stay up juice. So I'm about to go. I'm about to hit the road and head back to work in a couple of minutes here. So I'm gonna hang tight while I can.
Yeah. Ryan Adams has a question. He says, "Were the Furrow 5 and Captain Marvel 1, 2, Captain Marvel 2, or were the first appearance being 3?" So the group of people, their first appearance was in Captain Marvel Dark Tempest number 1. They get their powers or get hit with the thing in number 2, but then they will officially show up messed up in number 3. Sheena, Queen of Jungle number 1. There's a Barillo. We went all out with that little monkey. Yeah.
Well, you see how them German jungles be.
Gotta go get citizenship right quick.
Well, up in Sweden, you see.
I like how her eyelashes are just like perfect, for out in the fucking jungle and shit. What the fuck.
course.
Makeup and everything is perfect.
I mean, it's Perillo. I mean,
look at the nail. Look at red nail polish and everything on her.
That
In the jungle.
The blood of her victims.
Come on now, she ain't Vaporilla now.
Oh yeah, that's right. Larry Joe Reva was on the Star Wars Bounty Hunters 26 Sprouse variant.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
She was on the cover. Was she in the?
So just like
story?
Mandalorian and Baby Yoda, who had a first appearance on the Sprouse variant.
That's
and then
right.
Was she actually in the story though?
Saying Mandalorian 1 wasn't Baby Yoda's first full, but I'm like, he already had an appearance on a cover before this, so why is number 2 full?
So then any of the covers are the same though.
What's that?
Any of the cover, it wouldn't matter if she was on the
Yeah, it's just like
was she actually in the story?
Axe Woves and the other Mandalorian that was introduced with Bo-Katan on Mandalorian.
No, she wasn't in the story, Lucas. She was just.
But she was on the cover of that variant before she was introduced into the Mandalorian story via comic book adaptation.
Yeah. One of them technicalities.
Stirring the coffee.
Robin Hood, Dark Shaman, cover B, Ignacio No. Brutal and sexy at the same goddamn time. How's that possible?
Yeah, that shit is hard. What is that called?
It's called Robin Hood, Dark Shaman.
Ignacio, no. Ignacio, no.
No.
Here is Poison Ivy number 14, cover D by Rose Beige. Just old girl just getting high all the time now, just because none of it's like coherent. Then there's your Poison Ivy number 14 by David Nakayama.
Okay.
Little Wolverine claws in there.
Oh, what is that?
Yeah.
Is this a redo of a? No, he did.
X-23. Yep.
Yes, the Campbell X-23 on all new Wolverine number 1 by Campbell. No, he didn't.
Yes, sir, he did. The Wolverine.
So her boobs are a bad 3D print shirt. You guys remember when they had those wolf print shirts?
No.
What's his name? Zach Galifianakis wore one in the first Hangover movie.
That Peacemaker cover is sick.
Yep. Cover Peacemaker tries hard number 5. Cover C by Enka. Just an Enka movie variant. And then there's just a regular Enka variant. I like the movie variant. Going back to Xenoscope, Oz Kingdom of Lost number 3. Cover D by Josh Burns.
Yep. It's typical Burns. Hi, Perillo.
I really kind of freaking dig. Man, Xenoscope actually kind of looked kind of hard this week. Oz Kingdom of Lost number 3, cover B by Ryan Pasby. Kind of a twisted scarecrow type deal. And then this is the cover A by Cow Cacao.
That was a trans scarecrow?
I guess. You don't want to know where she wants to put those fucking fingers, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, fuck.
I don't know what the only thing that messes up is the Good Witch in the back, but all the other joints freaking look kind of hard right now for this Cow Cacao. And then I don't know what's going on with this Carla Cohen, but it just kind of looks disturbing to me. Yeah. Miles Morales, Spider-Man number 10, Mike Piccone. Looks like Miles trying to freaking suck his own dick. All right.
Whoa.
Micronauts number 1.
Marilyn Manson claims right to that joke.
Wow.
Rumors. Yep. Masquerade number 8. Oh shit. Yep. Masquerade number 8 by Dark Horse. Cover B by Bisley. Looks like Snake Eyes splitting one dude in half from his head to his asshole. Joker, the Man Who Stopped Laughing, number 10 by Federici.
I mean, he's not going to need it no more, but that sucks.
Then there's Shamatina.
He looked like dude from Men in Black 1, Diorfino.
Yeah.
wearing the dude suit.
Yeah. So I guess Joker is Ed Gein now. I don't know what the fuck.
The Edgar suit, wearing the Edgar suit.
And then Joker, Man Who Stopped Laughing, 10, cover A by D. Giandomenico.
Giandomenico. That's a tough name. Probably easy for him. He's been saying it his whole life. That's my name, you know. He knows how to pronounce it, but everybody else fucks it up. Sorry.
Completely.
Oh, look at the Heat Seeker. I see a couple of Heat Seekers.
Going back to Zen. So Incredible Hulk number 4, it got Hulk going up against the that man thing.
Oh, yeah?
It's all right. But then you got we got Hydra number 1, cover D, Paralugi Abundanza. Then you got some Heat Seeker. There's the Carafa Nude.
Oh.
Yep. Then you got some cosplay, and you got this cover A by Laurie.
Damn.
That's good.
Bullseye.
And you got cover B by Rebecca.
Understand.
Yeah. Stop showing the redhead.
Now, this one, I believe, is an incentive, but for some reason, I guess I didn't pull it in. But Harriet Tubman, Demon Slayer number 1, cover B by Desjardins. Supposed to be coming to Disney Plus.
Okay.
All right. Gene Simmons's The Dominatrix.
Yeah, not bad.
More redheaded kryptonite.
Yeah, that's why I said it's not bad. Yeah.
Gargoyles. I do like this cover B for Frank Frazetta's Death Dealer number 15.
Because it's a Frazetta.
Because I like bears.
A bear?
I got a bunch of Demon Bear books to sell you then.
Then your Deathgasm, Death of Venomverse number 4. There is a Death of Venomverse number 4 Ken Nomura design variant with manga Venom. But the thing she looks older than she does look in the actual comic book, so I'm not sure what they're going for here. And apparently they're calling her Necroco.
Necroco?
Yeah. So she wasn't called Necroco inside the comic for the previous issue, so that's where she gets her name. Galloway Saturday morning variant. I guess Null's back?
Oh, no. Didn't see that one coming. Can't keep a good villain dead.
And then this is Bjorn Barends for Death of Venomverse number 4. Hair pulling. Dead by Daylight number 3. I haven't read it yet, but I can say issue number 1 still does pretty well. Con and On number 3. Cover B, there's an unlockable. Okay, so somebody was actually asking about this one earlier. Captain Marvel, Dark Tempest number 3. This is by Mateus Manahini. I forget the name of the Feral 5. Yep, that's the name of those guys. The Feral 5 are going to be in this cover, or it's going to be in this issue. Stacia says he just Googled the whole Marilyn Manson thing because let's face it.
That's why I'm laughing, man.
Sick day puns. Sick dad puns. Get the fuck out of here. That rumor came out.
Stupid internet ruins everything. Yes, that is true. The internet does ruin everything.
Oh my goodness.
That's why I said Marilyn Manson has the rights to that joke.
Okay, some more Blue Beetle stuff. Birds of Prey, Stanley Art Dream. I mean, the background, everything happening is kind of boring, but I do like the fact that he actually did it. And it does look really good. But I don't know what's connected to Birds of Prey, Big Barda, but all right. Then you got Batman Gargoyle of Gotham number 1. There's a cover A by Raphael Grampa. Don't forget there was a retailer preview that came out. I think it had like $40 at one point. Rose Beach has Batman number 137, cover D. Batman Catwoman Gotham variant. If I remember reading it correctly, I didn't really see anything big that happens inside of it. Avengers Incorporated. Number 1, Sean Galloway, Saturday Morning.
Oh boy.
I don't know, man. It makes me want to crawl up with the freaking bowl of cereal and just freaking, just have a Saturday.
Yeah, but that was that IDW steez. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Nothing is sacred anymore, of course. And of course, that right there hits me right in the youth because I had a very beat up copy of this book given to me, and I traded it for like over 100 books. A lot of X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, Ghost Rider, all the popular shit in the early 90s, 91 to be exact. And yeah, don't have an Avengers number 4 anymore.
Can't look back, man. Can't look back.
I know that. Sorry. I am Captain America. What?
For Avengers Inc., there is a Lionel Yu. Check this out. I don't believe.
I don't see the Uncanny.
Yeah, there's no first appearances that I'm tracking in this one. I do like this cover though. Erica Durso. Then there's an Alex Ross Avengers Connecting variant.
And you know what that means? There's a 1/100 sketch of this one.
Let's see. Do I have it? Probably looks like I don't have it here. I guess Ultra's going to have to do a Matrix. Find some Matrix.
Well, I just know anytime Alex Ross is doing one of those connecting variants, they're going to do an incentive variant that's usually a 1/100 of it. So, Alligator Loki getting his own book. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's crazy. I would watch that on Disney Plus, Alligator Loki.
Well, the Pet Avengers, Alligator Loki versus the Pet Avengers might actually be a thing.
And 007 for King Country number 5. All right. Going for looking at some of the stuff that's coming out this week. Aliens has got some stuff coming out. That Alpha Flight #1, that 1 to 50.
Yep, there you go.
Not bad.
But she's turned into a bird, so I mean, she got that claw hand, like Scourge.
Yeah, I don't remember if there's a first appearance in there or not, but I do like the art though. Alpha Flight #1, there's the Ron Lim Miss Minutes. I do for Astrobots #4. I do like this action figure.
You do? You've been reading it?
No. I think I read the first issue, but I've not been reading the actual book.
So again, just to familiarize the people who might be new to it as well, it's written by Simon Furman, who was the writer at the tail end of the Transformers series at Marvel, and then also helped restart Transformers over at IDW. Also did some projects with another publisher that didn't pay people, so I don't mention their name. Yeah, so this is his project. If you also remember, one of the creations that he did when he was writing for Transformers at Marvel was over at the UK side, and that is where he introduced a character called Death's Head to the Marvel comic universe. Astrobots is, I think, something along the lines of, one of the ideas that he had, and it just kind of evolved into a pretty cool story. So give the man some credit. He definitely knows what he's doing. But it's over at Whatnot, massive.
Yeah, people are buying. Stock status is low.
Yeah, because I don't think they print pretty close to the chest,
Betty Page #3, cover B by Leslie O'Ree. Some cosplay action here in the garters.
That's just call it a lingerie variant at this point, man. I mean.
Captain Marvel Dark Tempest #1. Here's a second print, 1 in 25. Don't know the need for that. And then there's your Derek Chew, open order.
Bang bang.
Daredevil #14, Leno Yu, 1 in 25.
Oh no, did Remo dip?
No, fuck that. But I will say,
yeah,
I do like this Chip Zdarsky. This one is a lot better. If you're going to make me pay an incentive for it.
Dark. Later, Remo.
He's out.
Yeah, he's out.
Okay. We're coming close to the end. Bad girls.
Some Adam Hughes Red Kryptonite, 1 in 50 action. But this is one of those books that I know everybody's going to be going like, oh, I'm crazy over. But it'll be all right. So there's open order variants.
So there is an open order variant, but there's also the 1 in 50.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one is your 1 in 100. There's your Death of Venomverse #2, Derek Chew, 1 in 100. And we talked about this earlier, the Luciano Vecchio variant for Death of Venomverse #2 with Kid Venom on cover.
And I hate to do it to you, Lucas, but I got to hit the road.
Okay.
But I don't know if I'm going to do a secret variant. It's going to all depend on how late I'm out tonight working and how much sleep I get tomorrow. Yeah. Called it. I knew it was about to go off. All right. Hey, y'all. I appreciate you. Thanks for the support of the channel. Thanks, of course.
Turn right on Ponce.
Anyway, I got to dip out. I got to work the night shift for a little bit and do some dad life things. But I'll catch up with you soon. Watch out for the launch of the broadcast. All right.
All right. Thanks, man.
Peace out, bro. I'll see you next time, Lucas.
All right. Keeping it on before we get on out of here is Rare Flavors #1, Tasting Menu Ashcan, cover A. Then there's your Red Sonja, Inhyuk Lee. Looking through. There's a Something is Epic, or Something Epic, number 4, cover B, Kudransky, a homage to Indiana Jones. I'm saying, yeah, I'm hearing a lot of good stuff as well. People were trying to tear up my website, trying to freaking get at it. The unlockable was not available to everybody, so people were trying to get at that FLC. So hopefully, if you guys wanted it, you guys already got it. Something That's Killing the Children, number 32, 1 to 50. Then there's a Spider-Man number 11, 1 to 100 by Peach Momoko. But the numbers that I've seen coming up is the Spider-Man number 11 Mark Bagley variant, and it's got Spider-Boy and Peter Parker on the cover. The Sickness, number 1, has a second print fluorescent ink cover coming out. And that one is sold out at the diamond level. The Cunning Avengers has a 1 to 100 by Alex Ross. Blood Moon has an amazing cover by Thiago da Silva for Usher of the Dead. Void Rivals, number 3 is coming out. Cover A by Lorenzo Delafici is coming out, and it's sold out. And don't forget, there's also a 1 to 10 by Miko Mali. There's a 1 to 25 by Karen Darbo. And the 1 to 50 is by Taryn Clark. There's a What If Dark Moon Night, number 1 by 1 to 50 by David Mack. There's X-Men Red, number 14 by Jerome Javier. And there's a beautiful 1 to 25 by Mirka Andolfo with Storm on the cover. And that, ladies and gents, is the end of the game. Once again, if you guys need any help getting access to any of that stuff, please let me know. Once again, I want to thank all you guys for freaking hanging with me till it's 3:30 in the freaking morning. You guys are freaking awesome. I want to thank Remo, who passed out, man, for you party too hard, and Ultra once again, and for those who have not already subscribed and liked, please go ahead. Don't forget to like and subscribe to ComicCrusaders.com as well. And we also got a bunch of good shows coming out, including I've got No Prize Podcast coming out later on this week. I got to do that in a couple of hours. And then that's it, man. Freaking, you guys stay safe, stay cool, and freaking keep the party freaking going. Love y'all.
For each man in his time to take, until he walks along the beach and sees his future in the water, along with all within his reach. I haven't needed a book to watch.
Sometimes men take matters into their own hands.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
As you guys know, it is Drunken Chat, son.